Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome back to what is a transfer special. No, you haven't missed an episode. It's just that I was going to come back for the last game of the season, but it was kind of meaningless, and I maybe have just played it not realising it was the last game of the season and then just thought, fuck it, I'll do the transfers. But it didn't really matter. We were in the relegation group. I have invented, brand new invention, what could be the greatest tactic of all time. I'm going to show you it in a minute. So after the Aberdeen game, we used it. We won 1-0. Conor Crawford, we won 1-0. Marrett, we won 1-0. Morrison, we won 2-1. Bearing in mind these are all the shit teams in the league, so don't get too carried away. We lost against Dundee, but we had a man sent off. That's what they had a man sent off. Okay. Right. I've also got to announce, so we've done transfers. That was the end of the last season. Couple of news bits. The stadium's been delayed for about 3 months. So we're back at Clagham Park, which is fine. Get to say goodbye properly. We've sold one of our youngsters. Okay, what do we show you first? I think I'll show you the tactic first because it is revolutionary. We've gone something totally different, never before used. We are going old school, my friends. We will save this as the 4141 OG because it is. We're going back to the four. I was looking at tactics and I was having a little play and I thought, you know what? Fuck it. This is what climbed us up the league. So it feels right that we use it once again. We got lots of new signings. We spent about 7.5 million, but we also made 7.5 million. Firstly, I want to say goodbye to a couple of very important players. You might have seen them already. Also, he's gone to Yeovil. Decent. Where are Yeovil? League 2. Oh, that's good. Sutherland's gone to Yeovil on a free transfer. It was brilliant for us for a number of seasons. As you can see, slowly got worse over time. He's not. And Al Amrani, who's popped up with a few important goals for us, but he was never really going to make it because our training facilities are shit on a stick. Also, the board have announced that we are working on training facilities, which is nice. At the cost of £1.7 million or something like that. So we're going to have decent-ish facilities. Still can't. I can ask for the youth. I asked and they said no. I can ask. We would rather you rely on signing players rather than playing the first team. I can't really push it because we didn't have the best season last season. So I'm just going to... We have no interest in the development of youth. Do you not remember Dale Shand? He carried us. This is a results-based business and the only thing that matters is winning the next match. That's quite a harsh reply, isn't it? Not used to that. So the stadium is just not on there, apparently, anymore. 4th of September is when we're moving in this year, so we're only a month away. Very excited. Right, let's show you the transfers. I'll show you the outs. You may have already seen him. Ian Inns has gone. Because we are playing wide midfielders now, which are more like wingers than obviously inside forwards, but they're still, when you're a wide midfielder, are still got to be decent defensively. He's not, and he had a very good loan spell at Dundee last season. Did really well in the Premier League, but I thought, you know what, I don't think he's quite right for us. We'll take the 1.4 million, so with our blessing. Lewis Sinclair, because we're only playing one up front. So we had 4 very good young strikers, and I took a bunch of time looking through each one and working out which one I wanted to. I was thinking, we've got 3, I'll sell 1, loan 1, and keep 2. That was my thinking. This is the guy that's gone out on loan. I like him because he provides something a bit different. He's a big lad, and hopefully he can do bits. And the one that has left us, my friends, sadly, is McLean. He never quite lived up to the hope, did he? Look at the goals. And that was a bit. I took that into, obviously, consideration when deciding who was going to go. 11 finishing is a bit weak. His work rate's a bit rubbish, and we're pressing team, so that's not great. He's got some great physicals. He's only little, so there's no sort of heading ability, and I think it was just his finishing. And he's 21 now, and to be honest, 6 million quid from Wolves, cash in hand, and 30% sell-on fee as well, in case he, now he's somewhere where they've actually got good facilities. He might do quite well. So I've got, just in case he does well, we'll keep an eye on him. I'm sorry to see him go, but he just didn't do enough to impress me. We saw how many times he got in good positions and just fluffed his lines. Another one I'm very sad to see go is Wilson Shenage. He was consistent. He had that very good season. We bought him in for big money at the time. Was that the season we got promoted? I think it might have been. So he's sort of one of our first big signings, and he was good. But we've got better now, so that's why he's gone out. Gone to Luton in the Championship for 900k. Will McManus, I did try and sell him. Nobody fucking wanted him, so we've loaned him out. They're paying all his wages and 10 grand a month. Scott Donaldson has gone out on loan to get some more experience, a young centre-back. Jovanovic, another one, out getting a bit of experience. As you know, I like to keep the squad nice and small. All the players in my first team, I pretty much, unless somebody's there purely for mentoring, I just want them to be all ready to get game time, ready to step in, and I like a small squad. So these guys, I was like, I'd rather you go and get football, so that's why they've gone. Now, there's a couple of signings here that are very, very fruity. So we spent we got in 8.25 million, and we've spent 7.5. So we've actually made a slight profit, probably. With the signing on fees, it's wiped its face. So first off, we have, as we like to do, steal from Celtic and Rangers and then go back to haunt them. Scott Beckett, I think I might have showed you him before. I signed him ages ago. His contract was running out. He's on new wing back. As you can see, he's a step up from Shenage. Very, very solid all-rounder. And his off-the-ball positioning is a little bit weak, but everything else, including teamwork and work rate and stuff, is really, really good. So that's good. He can also fill in on that right-hand side of midfield if we get in a bit of injury trouble. Still only 22 years old. Obviously, he's been a loanee. We know him, and he's been very consistent. And now he's sort of 23. He's reaching his peak, and he's going to be amazing for us. Next up, we have Tom Jack from Hearts for 300k. Another young Scottish. I can't help it. I know we've got terrible. I know we've got terrible facilities, and I should be focusing mainly on getting ready-made players that we can't make shit. But it's inbuilt. I've been playing this game for 20 years, and I buy young players and make them really good. I can't not do it. It's in my DNA. But some of them have gone on to do great stuff. There's one I'm going to show you in a minute, which is brilliantly improved. So a very good young right midfielder. He's going to be our new wide midfielder, backup. 18 and Scottish as well, was just a big part of that. We didn't want to get too many of those horrible English lads in. Next up, we have Mark Frame. Was he the one that we tried to get on a free? I can't remember. His contract was running out. But we have poached from Celtic for a lot of money, £2.1 million. I just love the fact he's 22 years old, coming into his prime, and he's just a really solid all-rounder. We're going to play him as that right side of midfield because, like I said, wide midfielders need to be able, even on attack, needs to be able to tackle and mark and all that sort of good stuff. He's really well-rounded. He can also fill in as a playmaker in the middle and as a ball-winning midfielder in the middle. He can even play as a DM. Number 10, not so much, but all those others. So he's really, really versatile. So I know I spent quite a big chunk of money on him, but I think he's going to be worth it, and he's still young enough to improve or make shit, as the case may be. Next up, we have Ryan Mullen, another centre-back wonder kid, because, I haven't got enough of them. Just a very, very good youngster, 18 years old, already 4 caps for the under-21s. Very, very good young player. Next up, Don't panic. You don't have to hide your girlfriends and your wives and your dogs. It's Jay Terry, not John Terry. 2.1 million for Millwall. More of a ready-made player for the left-hand side. So he's going to play on that left wide midfield, likes to get forward, runs with the ball through the centre. Don't tell him. Shh. He's on the left. Crosses early, knocks the ball past the opponent. Well, lots of stuff. But I think he's just a really sort of solid player. And again, we spent a chunk of money, but came through the Arsenal youth ranks. And I think he's just a solid player. We're not relying on purely young talent to get better. This is a guy that can go straight in. Speaking of young talent that can get better, it's Regis. I'm sure that's a silent P. It's Fifner. I kind of like Pafifner. I'm going to call him. I know it's not. Don't comment. I'm going to call him Pafifner, right? He is a young Swiss left midfielder who is going to come in and hopefully get very, very good. This is one of the ones the scouts found. A couple of big teams were interested in him. I was like, you know what? Gobble, gobble, gobble. He's not played any football in his entire life, but they're very happy to get him in. Next up, we have Andy Duncanson, £1 million, 19-year-old Scottish wonder kid. There's a theme. There's a definite theme here, isn't there? They picked him up for 2.2k. That's not too bad at all. Decent chunk of change. But he's our new ball-winning midfielder in the centre. Can also play as that defensive midfielder. I am using a half-back, like we used to back in the day. So a 5'7" half-back's probably not ideal, but he's more bought in to be the defensive midfielder. Next up, we have Jim Adkins on a free from Manchester United. He is our other new right back. So we got rid of Shanaj, and who's the other fucking right back? Some other dude. Oh, the guy we had a guy on loan that wasn't very good. So these two guys here are going to battle it out for this right back position. They are both sensational players. It's definitely a massive upgrade. Got some random shitty goalkeeper on loan. Finocchi, Anelio Finocchi from Napoli. And then Sherlock Holmes' nemesis, Dan Moriarty, on loan from Chelsea. I'd kind of done at that point. I had two players for each position. And then this guy came up and I was like, okay, he's amazing for the left midfield position. Like, he is fucking incredible. And I was like, I've got to get him in, which means we do have three midfielders, but we have Pafifner, who's a youngster, so he won't feature quite as much this first season. So I was like, as soon as you can't turn that down, lads. You can't turn that down. What I would like to point out, when we were playing, look. Ryan Miller is now the hero of this game. He is the next Dale Shand. Imagine if that had it in his information. Touted as the next Dale Shand. Not only was he brilliant last year, even when we weren't playing well, as that advanced playmaker on attack, he won Young Player of the Year, young in Scotland. Writers, Young Player of the Year. Player of the Year and Writers, Player of the Year in Scotland. He won all 4 awards last season, which is, I don't know, look. It's nutty. Amazing. Absolute legend. Not only that, my friends, he loves me. He loves the club. But not only that, a couple of those youngsters, Scottish youngsters we signed, because I'm assuming he's a under 21 international. When I went to purchase these players, I had the option to get Ryan Miller to endorse the move. Go on, tell your mate to come to Fort William. Normally, pretty much every time I've used that, the players have gone, go fuck yourself. It's not up to me. You buy the players if you want them. Every time he was like, yes, I'll tell him to come play Fort William because Fort William are brilliant. And he got both of them to come along. And he is developing amazingly well. He is wanted by Arsenal last time I looked. Now it's Leeds and Tottenham. So he's got a £30 million release clause. If he goes, he goes. Right. I really don't want him to go. I know £30 million for us is a sensational amount of money. I don't know if I can offer him a new contract. I should, because he's on 3k. Okay, when's his contract run out? Please. Oh, he's got fucking 4 years left. You're stuck here, mate. Unless somebody pays 30 million. Yeah, he was brilliant last year. Look at that. Even when, we didn't do great last year, finished 6th in the league. And he got 10 assists and 4 goals. Absolutely sensational. And this tactic, I've tweaked it a tiny bit from the original 4-1-4-1, in that I've brought this wide midfielder back and made him an advanced playmaker on attack, because that's where he does his work. We've played some League Cuppy games. That's the wrong season. We've smashed some fools. Perez got 4 goals in the first game, which ended his goal drought. Not a bad way to end the goal drought. And a couple of other good results. Are we through that? Yeah, we qualified for the next round, which is good. According to the season preview, we are 6th, which is probably about, I reckon we're here. I reckon we're between 3rd and 6th this season. If we look at the last season, how it finished, Rangers just walked the league. 18 points clear. Celtic finished 3rd. Let's get Neil Lemon back, shouldn't you? Hey? Alex Neil in charge. So that's pretty shocking. But what was the other thing I wanted to look at? Any idea? I'll just do some filler while I think of it. Still got 22 million in the bank, so we haven't lost any money. Projection is very-ish bad. Wages have gone. Our wage budget is 211 grand. This is a little tip. Don't always think that's good. Don't think, oh, I've got 130 grand to spend on wages. This will be fine. I'm good. If we spent that, our money would disappear. Like, it would be ridiculous. You know, we've already jumped up quite heavily, and as you can see by the projection, we can't sustain this level, so we need other outside forces to get through. So, right, let's come and play a game. I want to play a game. We're playing Hamilton Academicals. I like first couple of games of the season just to see where the other teams are ranked, just to give us an idea. They are newly promoted and 1,000 to 1. Right, okay. I think we've got the team all set up. Our young youth prospect, Tommy Greek, is in the first team just to get some mentoring from Elvis. Everybody wants a bit of Elvis mentoring. We've got a really solid squad. It's improved. The tactic is still somewhat untested, I'd say, at this level, because we used it mostly to get up through the league systems. So it's not tested in the top division. Plus also the 6 or 7 games that we used it was all against the bottom half of last season, all the shit teams, the relegation league, which is a depressing name in itself. So it's not certain that this is what we'll stick with. I think after all the purchases, we probably have to do a variation of it. Fucking good in, bit lucky. Is that not going? That must have been on target. Defender sort of hit the defender and went in. No wonder, Akis, you look like a poor man's Doncaster. The ball came across. Donahue heads it down. Perez, so the goalkeeper's unlucky. And also, as a little fun thing, you might have noticed, Willie Cockburn is now a halfback. He's filling in the role. He's still a centre-back, but I'm playing him at half-back. He knows the position a bit, whilst the other guy's out. So he's moving up. He's going to be a big target man in a few years. You just wait. He's like our third best centre-back now. 4th best centre-back. Plus we have three really good, potentially amazing young players. My thinking is, right, here's the deal with youth players, okay? With wonder kids and hot prospects and all that sort of stuff. Hang on, look, fancy a goal here. Duncanson, Frame, Atkins. With wonder kids, okay, sometimes I'm not going to talk about the behind the scenes stuff that you don't see in the game, like the potential of the player that's hidden attributes. I never look at that stuff because where's the fun in the game if you know how good somebody's going to be? So some kids struggle to develop. It could be because their personality's wrong, or all sorts of stuff. So and we have terrible facilities. But there are some players that will just always become really good. As long as they don't get any horrible injuries and stuff, they will become really good, like we're seeing. So even despite the fact we have terrible facilities, some of these kids will just get amazing. Like Miller in central midfield. You know, he's already incredible. He's worth £4 million with our facilities, and he's just getting better and better. So I'm thinking buy 3 wonder kid centre-backs, and one of them might become good. If we were Liverpool with our facilities, I would know all 3 are going to get really good. But this way, it's like a spread bet. Okay, 2 might turn out to be Dale Shands, and 1 might turn out to be really good. I'm just ignoring the fact we've conceded a goal here. Right, we're 30 minutes in. That's their first shot. Of course it is. This tactic is really good at... We're not playing long ball, but the way that the striker is sat as a poacher, so on the last line of defence, and we have, rather than wingers, we have wide midfielders and an advanced playmaker on attack. What will happen a lot is our attacks are quick, balls over the top or round the corner. So it's just basically one striker. And that's kind of why I sold, what's-his-face, because his finishing was crap. So I kind of kept the guys with the best finishing because that's kind of all I need from them. Just stay on the last line, get yourself some goals. There's nothing to worry about here, boys. Nothing to worry about. I forgot to, did I put more? I did put more on bench. He's got to learn the position. He knows how to play left wing. So hopefully it won't be, you know, he's supposed to be a fucking genius. So hopefully it won't be too long before he learns that position. Because I think he could be superb. And once again, we will make him fall in love with the club. So much so that he just has to stay. Unless he wants 20 grand a week and then he can fuck off. All right, come on, boys. The board... I can't even remember. The board want us either top half or challenge for Europa League spots. I can't quite remember which one it is. I've told the players that I want Europa League this season. It would be horrible if we get in the top group and then finish outside Europa League, but that would still be an improvement. Go on, Atkins. It's a good ball. Ryan fucking Miller. Get in, son. Oh, he's the man. He is the daddy. He's going to take us to glory. He's the sort of Premier League version of Dale Shand. Where Dale Shand was a Mazzella, this guy is an advanced forward on attack who's going to rule Scotland. We've played a pretty decent game. And what you'll notice from this tactic, compared to my biggest problem, I think, when making tactics, you know, I never go in too much depth in tactics. I just get a bit bored of it. But my biggest problem is creating good chances. And this tactic, from how it worked before, is very good at creating 2 or 3 good chances a game, even against very good opposition. So as long as our strikers can put the ball away, we should get some decent results. Come on, boys. If we can see, this is what we're trying to do, is nick it off them, and then we've got Perez on the last line to try and go for an early ball. You'll see, oh, that's a dangerous clearance. Miller's done well, though. He does that there. That's exact there. Nutshell. In a nutshell, that is exactly what I was explaining. I look quite clever now, don't I? But that's what happens a lot of the time, because we've got wide midfielders, which naturally sat back a little bit more than, say, wingers, and, you know, a winger might be out here or something. A lot of the time when we win the ball, the only option, if you want to go forward, is a longer ball, despite not playing long ball football. And it just works. We just need Perez and the other guy, that I may have forgotten his name, Morrison, to finish the chances. Anybody need resting? Right back, probably. Beckett and Adkins are just going to fight it out. They're both very, very good. I would say our weakest area of the squad now is our left back. Scott Carey's all right, and we've got that young Northern Irish player that went out on loan last season as his backup, who had a very good season. Moriarty. Duncanson! Come on, son! Get in there. The ball-winning midfielder, Duncan. Right. 4-1. Yes. Yes, boys. It's a decent header away, but Gilmore's just got... Moriarty just steals it. And he sort of seems to nutmeg Cockburn. Maybe they were trying for that. Right, Celtic have slipped up already. We're top of the league. Have it. Right, Gilmore girls on the counter-attack. It's a pacey one, isn't it? Oh, it's a decent ball. Oh, what a finish. What a finish from Lyon. Clark Lyon. Cowie tried to make the block. Fair play. Not even mad. It's a lovely ball from the Gilmore girls. And it's a great first time. And just no backlift. I thought Cowie was going to get there. All right. It's fine. You can have that. You probably need it for the goal difference, Ackies. So, as the only Scottish football stadium I've ever visited, apart from Fort William, Hamilton Academical Stadium, I'll let you have that goal. You can have another one. Have another one. All right. Cockburn says no. Okay. See, if the striker was there, that's what I was talking about. Perez is just having a little nap off at the side. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Bish, bash, bush. Job done. Yeah, so like I said, the only real weak areas are the left back, and the backup goalkeeper is pretty weak as well. That youngster's okay. I didn't want to spend a load of money. In one of the games at the end of last season, Ryan Miller, as the advanced playmaker in the same role, in the same tactic, had 12 key passes in a match. It's decent. Right. Solid, lads. Solid. Oh, but yeah, he got a hat-trick of assists as well in one of the cup games. He's the king of kings. I wonder if we're going to have any actual bids before the transfer window closes, because that would be irritating, especially if he gets upset. That would hurt. We know Tottenham are champions, so they are in the Champions. I'm not sure about Leeds are in like Europa League last season, haven't they? They finished close. Yeah, so they're not even in Europe, so we don't have to sell to dirty Leeds. Right, there we go, my friends. Let me know what you think of the transfers. Who's this fucker? Oh, it's just one of our youngsters going out on loan. Yeah, let me know what you think. We've got some good players out on loan now. It's actually quite nice. Sinclair is out at Hearts, who are a Premier League team. He scored a few goals for Wraith last season. So we're getting to that point where we're a big enough team that we can loan players to other teams in the same division, which is, it's quite nice. It's quite nice. Jovanovic has gone to Luton in the Championship. It's just what we do now. Scott Donaldson, who I don't think is going to really make it. That 6 bravery is nasty. He's gone to Partick Thistle in League One. Kind of says it all, doesn't it? Ryan Mullen is 5 weeks. That's not too bad. So we've got some decent young players out on loan. So it's going to be very exciting. Right, there we go, my friends. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. In the comments, where are we going to finish? Let me just... mid-table. The board says, where are we going to finish? I'm going to say we are going to finish 4th. Let me know in the comments. Vote up the one you want and all that good stuff. You know the drill. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.